Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to the World Tour series. Starting mid-flight today because the recording kind of mucked up in the beginning, so I'll have to cut that off, unfortunately. But here we are, continuing our tour here. We are actually flying over some beautiful mountains here in India. Now with live weather finally working. There was a big bug since January 1. Happy New Year, everybody. But yes, along with that came the live weather issues. Thankfully, Asobo fixed that. So thank you guys for working hard and fixing that quite quick. And that being said, we do have amazing weather here right now. You can see some few clouds there in the distance, but over here, absolutely nothing. Just a bit of haze, maybe minimal. But lots of updrafts and downdrafts. So yes, we are continuing with the Arrow. I was actually debating whether I should switch to the Kodiak 100 or should we continue our tour here with the Arrow, but I loaded up the Arrow, did a pattern with it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I missed this plane. This is just so good. The hand flying experience, the entire immersive vibe of when you're in the cockpit like this, it's just different level. 1 second, we're at 15 minutes now, so things like this just add to the experience. Let's go ahead and turn on our fuel pump to low. We'll be switching tanks. Let me verify. Yeah, the right tank is a bit more used up. Switch to the left tank. Monitor it a bit. Engine sounds pretty nice, no complaints. Turn off the fuel pump and there we go. Next switch on the tanks will be at 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. But yes, this is just such a scenic sight, such a nice plane to be flying. Let me share with you our flight plan for today. If I go to little Navmap right here, little Navmap, where we are coming from is here. If you guys remember from the previous episode, in Tulihal, in Imphal, in India, where we landed below minimums. At minimums, right? At minimums, right? We did an ILS approach at minimums on this airport, right in between the mountains. Some nice views there aside from the almost zero visibility. But yeah, completely contrasting view now because of how good a weather we have now compared to back then. So this is where we are at the moment. We are, if I look here where my mouse is, 23 miles away from this VOR, 115.7 in Silchar, one of those. So if we compute that, measure that distance from the VOR, 22 miles now is around here. So we should be around this point right here. Yeah. And after we cross the Silchar VOR, we'll turn and follow the 315 radial of that VOR towards Guwahati over here, right beside the Brahmaputra River. Now, as you can see, oh my goodness, some strong downdrafts in there. We adjust. It's a shame the autopilot in this plane only covers the lateral guidance, so I have to always have one eye on the vertical speed and altitude. Okay, there we go. And especially as we're flying over mountains here, it's a bit tricky. Lots of updrafts and downdrafts. Anyway, so this is where we're going today, guys. Guwahati. As always, this entire flight plan of little Navmap for the entire world tour here, all the legs we've gone through, this is available for you to download. Just check out the mods list link in the video description. Go to the FS 2020 tab. Go under the World Series, the World Tour Series, and yes, have a look there below, and then the little Navmap flight plan should be available for download. Okay, but yes, that's the flight plan for today. I'll brief the approach later as we get to it, because as you can see, the weather is not very good. The weather is IFR. It's mainly because of moderate mist, and the visibility is only 1.1 nautical miles. Yikes, because the temperature and dew point are meeting. That's usually the sign. But yes, I noticed in this area in particular, you can see here in Bangladesh, in Dhaka, most of the airports here in Kathmandu, most of the airports with the weather information, most of the time they are either IFR or low IFR. It's like they're always smoggy or foggy or hazy, whichever it is. It's very tricky. Yeah, I've been following, if you guys follow Zolo from flyzolo.com, I think, right? The young lady who is attempting a world tour. He actually came through somewhere around here, not the exact same leg, but he came from Singapore to going to India, I think. And yes, she had the same problem with the bad visibility, the smoggy conditions, and I think she had to divert or something. So yes, it's a common problem around these parts of the world apparently. So we'll see if Microsoft Flight Sim can replicate those conditions. But yes, that's still to be determined. We just got live weather back, so I'm happy that it is even here, because it's really hard to fly without live weather. Something is missing, right? Anyway, one thing I haven't done yet, actually, I wanted to bring you guys with me, is to work on the cruise settings for flight. So let me show you. This is the chart that comes with the arrow. We want a 75% power setting here, and I wanted 2300, but we're at 10,000 feet pressure altitude, so we cannot go at 75% power with that. So 2400 RPM would be 33.8 on the manifold pressure. So right now manifold pressure is almost already at 33.8, maybe right there, right? Let's pull back the RPM. 2400 should be around there. And with this one, with this plane, it's not really an exact science. You don't really need to be on the dot. Around that same range should be enough. And from there, let's lean the mixture. Okay, so let me pull back the mixture. That's the peak. There's the peak. We want 100 degrees reach of peak right there. So 4 notches, I believe, on the dial here. I was looking at that EGT. If you didn't see it, you can rewind the video. But yes, the chart would say, one second, where is it? So accomplished by adjusting EGT, peak EGT for best economy, and peak EGT plus 100 degrees Fahrenheit for rich, for best power. So this one, right? This statement right here. So that's the one that we were following for best power, because we don't really need much range right now. Alright, so that's a good setting already for cruise. Now let's have a look at how the fuel flow is. Fuel flow is at 14 gallons per hour. It's not bad. That's within the 75% range here. A bit less actually from the maximum. So that's good. Let's go and calculate our true airspeed. True airspeed is calculated by determining our pressure altitude. Let's just say it's 10,000. It's close enough there. And outside air temperature is around 2 degrees. Okay, so 2 degrees and 10,000 is going to match that here. So the white background here stands for the altitude, and the temperature is here on the black background. So we're going to match the 10 there for 10,000 to the 2, which is closest would be right there. I guess this is 0 in the middle, and 2 would be maybe 1 notch forward, like that. Alright, there you go. So actually our true airspeed now, if you look at the white background here number, should be around 160 knots, even if we're only indicating 135, because we're at 10,000 feet. Kind of makes sense. Let's have a look now at the ground speed though. Oh my goodness, we're only at 127 knots. which means we probably have around 40 knots of headwind, which kind of makes sense because I did have a look at windy. Let me show you that one. At windy at 10,000 feet, we do have some pretty powerful winds here. This is where we are, and we're going from east to west, and the winds are facing us. So we do have headwinds around 25, 30 knots. That would explain the 30 knot deduction in the ground speed from 160 becomes 129, 130. That kind of fits. So live weather seems like it's working. Not really advantageous for us, but it is realistic. It's part of the package. And since we're at 10,000 feet here, might as well use our oxygen. We don't really need to, but just to be on the safe side. Right? Oxygen up here is getting thin, and we do have oxygen, so might as well use it. Next up would be 30 minutes where we switch, and we're actually nearing the VOR. So I have to... Actually, we'll be keeping the same VOR here, but we'll be changing our course. So right now what I'll be doing is I'll switch to heading mode. So it's following the heading here instead of the course, right? And so even if I change this, the plane should not change its heading. Yeah, it should not turn, which is good. Because now I'm going to plan for the next leg. If you go to Little Navmap, we are right over here. So 280 initially is the track we were following. It will be 315 radial next. So 315. 315 would be... This is easier. 31 would be here. I'm looking at this one. 315 would be that dot right there. 315, because this is 310, 320, 315 would be that one in the middle. Looks good. Right. So what I can do now is I can just monitor this, and when we're close enough, it's a more scientific calculation to when you should start your turn, but it's too much for my brain, so I'm just going to wait for this DME to go blank. That means we are over the cone of confusion. That means we are right over the VOR, so it cannot give us a proper signal. And then I'll start my turn. I guess that can work. Man, this looks so good here. And yeah, live weather is working so great. A while ago there were absolutely no clouds, and now we're starting to get into some weather. Very nice. If it's accurate with the visibility, with the fog, with the haze, that remains to be seen. But the airport we're going to, I think, is going to be a great test for that. There we go. We're in the cone of confusion now. Let's make our turn. Let me apply a bit of right rudder just to counteract that adverse yaw. Pull up on the yoke so we won't lose altitude. There we go. There's the needle on the HSI, getting closer, right? Very nice. Looking good. Looking good. We'll keep on heading mode for now, for a bit. And we do have pilot to ATC here, guys. They are a bit quiet, but yeah, a while ago when I was on takeoff, a while ago when I was on climb, they were instructing me. So we're actually tuned into, how do you say it, Kolkata Center, 120.1. Actually, what we can do is we can do a radio check, if they can still hear us. 1 second.
Niner Victor India Charlie Lima radio check. Niner Victor India Charlie Lima, you are loud and clear.
There we go, they can hear us. Good. They're just quiet. Cool. Okay. Now we are 3 miles away from the VOR and counting up. That's good. And so now what we can do is we can probably switch to Omni mode. That will start tracking the VOR again. so that it's following the radial that we set for it. 315, that's the outbound radial. Looks good. And now, how's our airspeed? We should get a little bit better airspeed, just because we're not facing the wind totally, so the headwind component should lessen. But we'll see how that works. Let's have a look outside, guys. Let's like go for a bit of a sightseeing tour. Ah, there it is. Beautiful. Yeah, so far no problems with the visibility. I'm not sure if the sim can properly replicate that. That would be very interesting. I sure hope so, because we should have fog now. Yeah, if you look at the distance, there is that bit of haze in there, right? And so many mountains. Yeah, if you look in the distance, there is that haze. Maybe that's the only thing that it means. Not sure if that's enough. Anyway, we will see soon enough. Alright guys, I'll be back shortly. Oh, 30 minutes. Mates will bring you with me here. Aux fuel pump. Let's go and check. Tanks are even. There we go. Switch to the right tank. Looking good? Yeah, looks good. Alright. Bringing you back in quickly, because I just tuned in to 117.6. The Guwahati VOR, that's the VR we're going to, that's the airport we're going to. And it is alive, so we can actually switch to that. So let's do that, just so we won't have anything to worry about once we get nearer. So let's go back to heading mode here. So it follows the heading bug instead of the course needle. And then, let's go and tune VOR 1 in here, 117.6. There it is, it's alive. And we just alter our course needle just a tad. Actually, you know what? No need. Let's just do that. Go back to Omni, and it will follow that course for us. There we go. It's turning a bit too abruptly for my taste, but that's because we're so far away from it still. That's fine. At least it's the right track there. And then once that gets closer, the HSI gets aligned, it will turn right again and follow that. Okay. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. That valley right there with the river. What is that? Let's see. Let's try and find ourselves where we are. This is what I like about having no GPS. You have to really find where you are. Could it be this one? Let's have a better look. Let's do this more systematically, right? So we are around 90 miles away from the Guwahati VOR, was it? Yes. So if we do a right click, measure distance, 90 miles would be around this point. Alright, 90 miles is around here. And what we're seeing below, okay, it's almost right below us, a bit behind. So it's probably this one we're seeing. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, perfect. It's like a road with a river. This is the valley. And if we look under this in terrain view maybe, yeah, that's the one. Or satellite view even. Yeah, that's the one. Devinala. Jatinga River. That looks great in the sim, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is what's fun with having no GPS when doing these tours. You have to think a bit more steps, but more fun as well. Look at how much we're crabbing, by the way. Yeah, because the winds are coming from the left here, from the west. Okay, I climbed a bit too much there, enjoying the sightseeing. Let's let that normalize a bit. Let's have a look at that valley again. Yeah, right there. That's the one we saw in the Navmap. Very nice. Cool. Alright guys, catch you in a bit. Looking good so far. One thing I wanted to show you guys as well, is this new? Maybe it just so happened that the sun is facing this way, but look at this, the propeller and how the reflection of the sun is. Like the sun is beating. So I'm guessing the sun is right behind us. If we look outside. Indeed. So the sun is there, and we can see all the reflections, including the one it's making on the propeller. Very nice effect. Good job, MSFS. Yeah, I was watching an X-Plane 11 video yesterday from YouTube because the 737, Level Up 737 just came out for X-Plane. So I was looking at it. Great systems, but my goodness, the visuals on X-Plane 11 looks so old compared to MSFS, doesn't it? So yeah, it's hard to get back, but we'll see. Maybe X-Plane 12 will have an answer for MSFS in terms of graphics.
Center on 125.79 or Victor India Charlie Lima.
Yeah, we've been asked to switch now. 125.7. Plug that in here. And then we'll start briefing the approach soon. But let's report in first.
9er Victor India Charlie Lima, flight level 100.
9er Victor India Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
Flight level 100, is it? Maybe I should have switched to standard QNH here. 1013. Standard altimeter, rather. There you go. Oh, it looks like it's evening outside now. Nice. I think we are past the mountains mostly. Let's have a look if the bumps are still there, the updrafts and downdrafts. By the way, I have to switch tanks. Right, yeah, right tank is more used up. Let's switch to the left tank. Engine sounds good. Right. Let's have a look outside, guys. Oh yeah, mountains are definitely past us. Yeah. So here below, we do have some hills still, and some very interesting landscapes. I don't know what those are. Are those small roads? Or, yeah, it looks like those are still hills, right? So this might still be a bit bumpy. Let's have a look. Yeah, the winds are still a bit not the most stable, but looking good. Also, if you look at our airspeed now, 148 knots, even though our airspeed is mostly still 160, 165. We are getting much better ground speed now, because we're not directly facing the winds anymore coming from the left here, from the west. So a tad better. I'll take it. Should be there in 60 miles. Yeah, might as well brief the approach now. Let me plug in Navigraph in here. Alright, here we are. So this is the airport layout for Guwahati. Victor Echo Golf Tango will be approaching. We'll be doing an approach for runway 02 with a 023 runway heading in there. It has 10,000 feet runway length, so no problems there at all. Probably will be making an exit on Echo or Foxtrot. Probably that looks like where the ramp is. And we'll be doing an ILS approach just to be on the safe side because it is misty down there. So I had to look at these three different ILS approaches. We can all shoot them, I think. Yeah, they all deal with the VORs and NDBs. No RNAV waypoints in there. So that looks good. That's indicated by the triangle. Those are land-based markers, you could say. So those can be tracked via VORs or other land-based nav aids. So that's good for us. So this is the one I chose. This is the most exciting looking one. ILS Zulu runway 02. Published December 6, 2019 for the Victor Echo Golf Tango Airport. Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloy International. Oh my goodness. It's a bit hard to say. Do not mistake Shillong Air Base, approximately 33 nautical miles south-southeast for Guwahati Aerodrome, which has a similar runway alignment. You know what? Let's go and check that. Make sure we don't make that mistake. Because if you look at little Navmap here, that's the airport, and it says around 30 miles. Oh, looks like there are some AI aircraft in here from AIG traffic. This is Indigo Airbus A320. Nice. Maybe we'll see some aircrafts in there. Yeah, both Indigos. Okay, so anyway, if we measure the distance from here, 30 miles south-southeast, that should be this one right here. Yeah, this is the one. So they're saying don't confuse this one. Barapani. I think this is an Air Force base maybe, which has a 0422 runway, and this one is 0220. So a bit similar in terms of the runway heading. Yeah, same direction, so it can be quite confusing. So don't mistake those two airports, it says. That's okay. We do have some nav aids to help us make sure that it is the right airport. So let's keep that. Let's get back Navigraph in here. Alright, so don't mistake that. Shillong Air Base.
9er Victor India Charlie Lima. Contact Guwahati Center on 123.9er. Have a good one.
123.9er.
Center on 123.9er, 9er Victor India Charlie Lima.
Guwahati Center. Alright.
Niner Victor India Charlie Lima, flight level 100. Niner Victor India Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact.
52 miles away. Let's continue that briefing. Alright, so our initial approach fix for this will be the Guwahati VOR, so it's perfect that that's exactly where we are headed. We're actually tracking towards the VOR itself, so that's good. So that's the starting point right here, Guwahati 117.6 with identifier Golf Tango. I wish we could use the Morse code as well to identify it. I don't think that's still working in the plane right now in the sim. The sound is too weak. Anyway, so we approach that. The minimum safe altitude is 7,000 feet from where we're coming from on a 315 radial, right? So coming 315 from the southeast here, minimum safe altitude is 7,000 feet, but there is a note, and it's saying that within 12 nautical miles of the VOR, so the reference point here is the VOR, Guwahati VOR, it says here. So normally 25 miles away from the VOR at 7,000 feet, but there is this note which says within 12 nautical miles, you can lower down to 4.5. That's safe now. And it does seem like it. Okay, good. But we'll need to be at the VOR 4,000 feet by the VOR when we arrive there based on this vertical profile, right? So once we reach the VOR, we are a category A plane based on our approach speed. We are category A, and that means we'll be following a 210 radial from the VOR. We'll be turning left, 210, and then we'll continue descending to 3,000 feet here. You can see here this line from the VOR to that one is 3,000 feet. That's this point here. That's DME 13 miles away from the VOR. We will make our left turn to intercept the localizer, which is 110.3. Yeah, so we'll stay at 3,000 to intercept the localizer, and then we will follow the glide slope down on a ILS glide slope. It says it's 3.25 degrees descent angle, so it's a bit sharper, a bit steeper than most, but not too steep to have a big impact, I would say. Okay, that looks good. 6.7, lots of DME markers in here. I guess that's because when the glide slope is out, you would need those markers to have an idea of what altitude you have to be. Like if you look here, DME 6.7 I think is the 1 second. Oh, interesting. So there is this broken line here, which I'm not sure what it means, but I think you can do like a, probably when the glide slope is out, this is what you follow. Yeah, you descend to 2,300, stay there until DME 6.7, and then you start your 3-degree descent. Here, localizer descent angle. So these are the feet per minute. You follow that, and then you have markers here. At DME5, you should be at 1750 feet. At 4DME, you should be at 1540 feet. At 3DME, when you're above the NDB, the locator should be at 1490. So yes, lots of different markers, but I think for us, we have to take note of that just in case the glide slope doesn't work. But if it does, then we can just follow the glide slope down. Yeah, just to have an idea of what that means. And then the minimums would be 250 feet. If we don't see the runway, the approach lights by 250 feet, we have to go around. That's the decision altitude. Sorry, 412 feet. 412 feet. That's 250 feet above ground, 412 above MSL. So 412 is our minimums. Right, and final approach course would be 023. Okay, looks good. Looks pretty straightforward, but how about the missed approach? If we have to do a missed approach, we'll be climbing to the VOR, which is right in front of the runway. And then once we intercept it, we'll turn left on a 345-degree track to 2200. And then once we reach 2200, we'll turn left towards the VOR again, and then we'll hold there. Hold there on, let's see, maybe a parallel entry. Yeah, probably like that. Okay, but most likely before we get there, we'll be instructed by ATC to go somewhere else. We'll be vectored towards the approach again. Hopefully we'll not have to go around, but we will see. We have to be prepared, right? Anyway, so, sorry, it's a bit long-winded, but we needed to do it. Okay, so we'll wait for the descent instructions. Now, one thing, when should we expect to start descending? It says here 21 nautical miles. I don't really want to follow that. I would rather do it a bit more mathematically. So we need to be at the, if you remember the approach, you have to be at the VOR at 4,000 feet, right? When we get to the VOR, we want to be at 4,000 feet. So if we look at little Navmap, if we need to be here at 4,000, we're currently at 10,000. So that means we need to lose 6,000 feet, right? If we do this rule that we multiply by 3 divided by 1,000, so 10,000 divided by 1,000 is 10 times 3. No, sorry. 10,000 minus 4,000, which is the altitude we want to be at when we get to that VOR, is 6,000, right? So 6,000, remove the zeros, remove the thousands, so we're left with 6, and multiply that by 3, that's 18 nautical miles. We should start our descent. So when this DME reads 18, that's the latest point, or that should be the ideal point at which we should start our descent at a 3-degree descent angle.
Guwahati approach on 120.5. Have a good morning.
120.5.
Approach on 120.59 or Victor India Charlie Lima.
Okay. 120.5. So we're expecting that ATC would give us descent instructions around that point. If it doesn't come, then we can request it.
9 Victor India Charlie Lima, flight level 100.
But at least we have an idea.
9 Victor India Charlie Lima, good morning.
Oh, there's an
Radar
airport there.
contact.
Very nice. So yes, 18 miles is when we should start our descent, but what should be our descent rate? Well, we need to descend at a 3-degree descent angle. And 3 degrees is computed by getting our ground speed. Let's say it's 150 knots, just for the sake of easier computation. 150 divided by 5 is going to be our descent rate. 1 second. 150 times 10 divided by 2, if I remember correctly. And then that one, oh my goodness, the math says, I'm forgetting the math. Basically, we divide that by 2. Divide by 2 and then multiply by 10. Yes, exactly. So 150 times 5 rather. 150 times 5. So that can be done by 15 times 10, which is 15 divided by 2 is 750. So that should be 750 feet per minute our descent rate. Let's put that to 800. Alright, so start descent at 80 nautical miles away from the VOR at 750 feet per minute. And we should arrive at the VOR exactly at 4,000 feet. More or less. So that's a good guideline, and then we'll adjust from there. Oh, look at this, guys. Starting to see a bit of mist there in the distance. That might be where we're headed. That might actually be in line with what the weather is saying it is in the meter. Interesting stuff. Alright. We'll see, we'll see. 24 miles away. Bit of a bad news, guys. The weather is starting to turn for the worst. If you look here in the lower left, Guwahati, the airport has a station weather. It's now in low IFR. That purple color is not something you'd want to see as a weather. Visibility has gone down to 0.8 nautical miles. I think that mist is turning into fog soon. 1017 on the QNH. And yeah, temporary 0800. What is MI? Mist in fog? I think so. I think so. So that might be problematic. But no winds, so that's good. So as long as we follow the ILS, maybe we'll have a chance. Yeah, there's a chance. But yeah, in front, it does look like it is reflecting very well, doesn't it? Isn't it like right in front of us, the smog has just turned into something really bad. I can't see what's in front anymore. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's see. Looks like we chose the right approach. Just in time, guys.
Descend and maintain 8,500 feet. QNH is 10179 Victor India Charlie Lima.
1017 on the QNH. We've just been given our descent instructions. Let's pull back on the throttle here. 1017 should be around that point.
Cleared for the ILS approach to runway 02 with the GGT-1 transition. Continue to GGT, then clear to GGT DME 13 to join the approach.
Not that steep.
Continue to GGT, then clear to GGT DME 13 to join the approach 9 Victor India Charlie Lima.
Alright, we are cleared for the approach. So let's go and follow that plan. It's actually almost perfect. The time that ATC gave us the descent instructions was around 18 miles. So not bad at all. Okay, let's go for that, around 800 feet per minute descent. There we go. And yes, looks like the visibility is reflecting that meter. I know there are a lot of complaints about the weather accuracy recently, but my goodness, I think this, at least for our case, this looks spot on, unfortunately for us. I don't even think we can see the river here, the Brahmaputra River, with this kind of weather. Yep. Live weather surely looks fixed. Oh my goodness, look at how bad this is. You can actually see the difference if you look at the mountains in the distance. Visibility is much better, but over here, this might be smog, this might be, I don't know, moderate mist it says, based on the meter, so let's go with that, moderate mist. Doesn't look so moderate to me, but fine. Anyway, that's why we have our instruments, right? So we're currently descending at 800 feet per minute as per the plan. That looks good. We're at 5,500 feet now. Looking pretty good. We are 4 miles away. So if we have 5,500, let's say 5,000, we need to descend 1,000 feet more. We need 3 nautical miles for it. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, good. I actually want to arrive at 4,000 feet a bit earlier, just so I can maybe have a bit of time to make sure, because I have to switch. Actually, let's do that now. I have to switch to heading mode, because once we get over the VOR, the course needle will be confused. Let's go to heading mode here. And let me already adjust for 210 on the course. 210 would be the course needle. That one. Let me make sure that that's correct here. 210 is that one, to be exact. Okay, looks good. Almost right above the VOR here. We don't really need to be exactly at 4,000 by the VOR, but as long as we're above, at or above 4,000 by then, should be okay. I think that's okay. I can see something from below. Oh, there's the airport, guys. I think that is the airport. Yeah, we do have visibility of it. Okay, that's a good sign. Nice. Alright, 0.8 miles from the VOR. We should see it soon.
9 Victor India Charlie Lima descend via the GGT1 transition to
Okay, it's
3,000
gone.
feet.
Cone of confusion. Is there left 210?
Descent to 3,000 feet via the GGT1 transition.
Oh, there's the
9
river,
Victor
guys. I think
India
this is the
Charlie Lima.
Brahmaputra River. Might be. Not so sure. Up, pull up a bit. Maintain that 800 feet per minute. And now we can descend to 3,000 feet. And that's where we will stay until we capture the glide slope. Okay. And while that's working, let me switch to nav 2 here for the DME. Because I'll need to switch my nav 1 to the ILS frequency, which is 110.3. 110.3. There you go. I still don't have it, but we are pretty far away from that still. Oh my goodness, look at that, guys. Oh, absolutely no visibility there. Let's take a photo of that. Yeah, sure looks fogged to me. There shouldn't be any risk of icing. We're above 10 degrees Celsius, so that at least is a good consolation. Alright, and there we go. There's the ILS. Let's adjust that to 023 on the course. 023. Oh my goodness, that's so slow. 023. Yeah, there you go. 02123. That's 023 on the course. Perfect. Alright. And there's the glide slope. Glide slope is alive as well. That's good. Still a bit high based on that. So what we're looking at here is we need to be at 13 DME from the VOR. So I'm tracking nav2 for the DME, which is 117.6. That's the VOR. Once we see 13 there, we can start our left turn. But for now, let's maintain 3,000 feet. Don't go lower than 3,000. Stay there. There you go. Let me trim it out here at this power setting. There you go, 3,000 feet. We're actually above the fog, above the mist still, which is a good, comforting look. At least we have some visibility. Yes, okay, fine. 3,000 feet, let's keep it there. Trim it out. Maybe get a bit more power, just a tad. Climbing just a bit. 1 second.
9 Victor India Charlie Lima QNH is 1017 at Loc Priya Gopi Not Bordeaux INT contact tower on 118.75. Have a
There we
good
go.
one.
118.75.
QNH is 1017 tower on 118.75. 9 Victor India Charlie Lima.
Good, 118.75. And then let's report that we are inbound for the ILS runway 02 approach. Okay. Approach. We're not established yet, but we are inbound.
9 Victor India Charlie Lima inbound for ILS approach to runway 02. 9 Victor India Charlie Lima, good morning. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 02, call when established on final.
Will do.
Continue ILS to runway 02, will call when established on final. 9 Victor India Charlie Lima.
Okay, looks good, guys. Looking good. We're a bit above 3,000. Maybe we can descend a bit. And let me adjust my mixture, actually. If not, I should be able to just go full mixture in here, since we're around 3,000 feet anyway. Still a bit far. 13 DME is what we're looking for. 13 DME. And yes, even though I can't see anything in front, I am not scared about it because that's why we have our approach charts. As long as we follow the approach to the letter, we should be within safe altitudes, away from any dangerous mountains. Right, looks good. Where's the glide slope? Glide slope is still way below us. We're still way above it. That's fine. As we get farther from it, this line is the glide slope. You can see it's crawling up and up and up bit by bit. You can see it. Yeah, there it is. So 3,000 feet. Let's maintain that, please. Thank you. There you go. Let's maintain that. We're getting close. We're now at 10 DME. Let's start setting up. Let's do our gumps check for landing, and I have my checklist switch here on my Honeycomb Alpha. So let's go for gas. Gas, did we need to switch? I think we needed to switch. To the left tank is a bit more full. Okay. And let's also turn on our fuel pump. That looks good. Alright, gas is checked. Undercarriage. Let's go ahead and extend our gear. Turn off the automatic gear extension. See that blinking, right? Still deploying. Okay, we have 3 greens. Alright, undercarriage is checked. Flaps we'll take care of later. Mixture is full rich. Propeller is full forward now. You can hear the change. And switches. Yeah, let's go and turn on the landing lights. Oh, and the oxygen actually we don't need anymore. Let's turn that off. Okay, switches. Oh, there's a mountain right in front of us, guys. My goodness, that is scary. Looks like there's a plane on final as well. Don't you even think about going before me. Okay, we were cleared already. Alright, and then that looks good. So switches are good as well. Okay, so we are ready for landing actually. Nice. My goodness, this seems awfully close. Trying to look where that is. Yeah, I do see a hill in the charts. That might be it, at 1,300 feet. That might be it. Okay, there we go. You're at 13 miles there, 13 DME. Let's go and turn before that guy goes before us. So let me turn here and we can approach the ILS at 30 degrees. Alright, 3,000 feet. Keep it there. So 30 degrees from the ILS course would be around 053, okay, on the heading until we intercept the localizer. That looks good. I can see something below. Good sign, but it gets thicker near the airport, so that's not a good sign. Minimums are, let me remind myself, 412 feet. Okay. Looking good. Yeah, there is someone else on final, guys. I might have to go around here. Or, what we can do is actually get rid of them. The power of the simulator. Yeah, I don't want to go around here. We should have priority because we were cleared already for the approach. Alright, 3,000 feet, maintaining that. We have a good airspeed, everything is checked. We're ready for landing, only the flaps remain. Trying to look for the localizer in there. Why is that not coming closer? We are so far away from the localizer that we're actually going to reach the glide slope faster. Might not be the best approach. Maybe we need a bit sharper to intercept the localizer a bit sharper. And the descent angle for the 3.25, we're at 100 knots more or less, around 600 feet per minute. Okay, It's okay. Where's the glide slope? Start descending. While we're still intercepting the localizer. Let me turn off autopilot in here. I think it's better if I hand fly it from here. Descend please, thank you. There you go. Yes. Have a bit more control if I'm hand flying this part. So let's focus on our instruments. Let's not look outside. We do have the checklist done, so we're confident that we've done all the steps. Except for flaps, that is. Yes. Let's go and extend those flaps. Still away from the localizer. Interesting. I'm so far. Okay. Second notch of flaps. There's the localizer. Finally alive. Let's turn to the left. I think we'll miss it by a bit. There you go. That's not bad. Alright, we are within the safe speed, so that's okay. Let's go and go full flaps here. 75 knots is what we're targeting. Pushing on the yoke a bit. Counteract that tendency to pitch up. We're a bit low. There you go. There you go. Alright. Still a bit low. Need a bit of power in here. Yeah, with full flaps it really starts to descend quickly. And we are away from the localizer now. Let's properly intercept that. How many miles towards the localizer? Let's go to nav 1. 5 miles away. Okay. 5 miles from the localizer. That's good. We're on the glide slope now. That's perfect. Nice. There it is. Awesome. Turn right a bit. Yeah, the localizer I'm still trying to get used to. I keep swerving left and right there. Maybe I can do like this, right? So we can focus on it, and then once we are at minimums, I can look outside and see if we have something. That might be a good way of doing it, so I don't look outside at all. Right. Keep left here. There we go. It's a bit better, I think. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Keep it there. That's nice. It's the proper glide. Oh, this is hard, huh? Instrument flying. Manual instrument flying, no autopilot. Goodness, it's tricky. I'm pulling back on the power a bit because we are a bit fast. Ideally, I want to be approaching at 75 knots. So let me put maybe pitch up a bit, trim up, lose a bit of that airspeed, pitch for speed, right? And then power for altitude. There you go. Just a bit more, lessen the power a bit more, and then trim up. That localizer is getting finicky, more and more sensitive as we get closer. Minimums will be at 412 feet. I'll look out at 420 feet. And I'm hoping that we see something by then, okay? A bit low. Catch up there. Oh my goodness, this is so scary, guys. Trusting our instruments fully.
9er Victor India Charlie Lima winds are calm, clear to land runway 02.
Oh, I should have reported.
Clear to land runway 02, 9er Victor India Charlie Lima.
There you go, thank you. Oh crap, did my instruments just freeze? My instruments froze, guys. Yeah, look at that. My instruments froze. Oh, that's not the best. Oh, I think we'll have to go around here. 1 second, let me see if I can recover it. What the heck happened there? Oh my goodness, that was scary. That was a simulator problem right there. Oh my. Can we still catch up? Can we see anything at all? We're almost at minimums now. We're super low as well. Oh, I was sabotaged by the sim. Okay, here it is. But yeah, I can't see anything anyway here. There's the glide slope. Approach lights, come in please. Guys, see anything? I don't. Oh, there it is, I see it. Okay, good. Okay, we still made it. Yeah, that was hard, huh? Goodness. And the instruments freezing at the last possible moment. That did not help us at all. But yeah, we can catch up here, no problem. No problem at all. There you go. Keep it there. Keep it steady. Full flaps. Slowly lose that altitude.
9er Victor India Charlie Lima, exit runway when able.
There we go. Nice. Awesome. Phew. Ah, that was scary. I didn't know I was banking way to the right because the instruments froze. That's okay. We still made it in one piece. And there's the ramp. We do have a bit of visibility, right? So we're just at the minimums. But yeah, let's not do that again. Echo or Foxtrot. I'm looking for a taxiway exiting to the right. I think it's this one. There it is. Not the best in terms of labels. That's okay. Alright. Alright, let's cross here. Start cleaning up our flaps. Should be good. Let's turn off our strobes here. And just report that we're clear of the runway.
Clear of active 9er Victor India Charlie Lima. 9er Victor India Charlie Lima, welcome to Lokpriya Gopinath Portaloy INT contact ground on 121.9er. Have a good morning.
Nice. Good. Let's not contact ground anymore because we are here already. So maybe just stop by one of these hangars and we'll figure it out when we get there. Whew. That almost proved to be a disaster, guys, but we made it. We made it. I think the more prudent approach there would have been to go around, but we kind of caught it last moment, so not too shabby. But yes, I'm just happy that the wind simulation in the sim is actually pretty good. Pretty nice. And accurate, right? That mist really is there based on the weather information. Let's close the radios. DME, ADF, we didn't need to. Okay, looks good. Stop the timer, reset it, get back to clock. And I think we're good there. Turn off the nav lights. Pull back the mixture. Propeller. And don't forget, turn off the magnetos. And we are good to go. Nice. Fresh air. Bit cold here, 13 degrees. Inhale the haziness. Hopefully that's not smog. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Oh my goodness, that was a thrill. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Clumsy flying, guys. Catch you on the next leg. Thanks and clumsy flying. Bye-bye.